Trump has to take on the entire media industrial complex, and he's still winning. That is the conclusion of this video. We will get there. I will make my case. I'm John Mike Keene. Brian Steltzer over at CNN gives away everything. Remember what they accuse Trump of, they're actually doing.
You mentioned this yourself. The economy, abortion, reproductive rights didn't come up. Why do you think that is?
She asked a question about why abortion and healthcare and all these other things didn't come up. Listen to her. She does this little skip. She goes, why?
Why do you?
As if she is spontaneously coming up with that question, but this is all canned. Listen to this, watch this carefully and watch her look at the camera.
Why do you think that is?
Why do you think that is, that they don't give her questions? And then she looks at the camera. It tells you everything you need to know. They're baking all this. This entire exchange is a setup. The Kamala Harris versus Trump debate was loaded up, and now the media has to spin it. And this is their collective spin. They asked, when Trump did the debate on CNN, the questions were all Kamala Harris type questions. It's, what do you think of abortion?
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to.
What do you think of climate change? That is, they brought up the hurricane and spun it into, so what are your beliefs about climate change?
Scientists say climate change makes these hurricanes larger, stronger, and more deadly because of the historic rainfall. Senator Vance, according to CBS News polling, 7 in 10 Americans and more than 60% of Republicans under the age of 45 favor the U.S. taking steps to try and reduce.
This is the way they do. The questions they choose to ask is how they slant the debate. And now Kamala Harris got the same treatment by Bret Baier.
The economy, abortion, reproductive rights didn't come up.
And the media is calling Bret Baier slanted. They're admitting that they themselves are biased and slanted.
Just to state the obvious, it's because it's a winning issue for Harris, it's a losing issue for Trump, and Bret Baier was acting a little bit like a Trump surrogate.
You're being a campaign surrogate if you ask questions. So all of the questions that were asked of Trump about women's health care and climate change and JD Vance, no one brought up Ukraine. No one asked about Israel. No one asked about the border, unpopular things for them. And suddenly that's their definition of bias. Thanks for admitting it, CNN.
He is an accomplished journalist with decades of experience, but he knew going into that interview that the Fox viewers wanted to see Harris roasted.
So the CNN viewers wanted to see Trump roasted. Thanks for admitting that, Brian Steltzer. By the way, Bret Baier is not a big pro-Trump guy. He came pretty late to the game, if he's in the game at all.
He basically had to act as a stand-in for the Trump campaign, because that's what his audience wanted. That's the way I see it.
He's acting like this is a debate. It's not a debate. It's an interview. That's what you're supposed to do in an interview. Ask tough questions. You're not supposed to have to ask questions tough for just one side in a debate. In a debate, it actually is supposed to be moderated and fair.
I think this strategy from Harris was a Google strategy. She wanted Fox viewers to start to Google some of the things she was saying.
Now, that's the weirdest take I ever heard. You have to go back and watch it again.
Google some of the things she was saying.
What a weird comment. She fails in an interview. He admits she fails, but he goes, she just wanted you to look up all these topics on Google. What a strange comment that is. It goes somewhere, guys. He's revealing everything in their plan.
She wanted Fox viewers to start to Google some of the things she was saying.
Okay, let's do that. Let's Google what some of the things she's saying. Here's a Google. This is from right after the debate. Kamala on Fox. There's CNN. Notice that word highlighted down there. Kamala Harris spars with Fox News anchor in testy interview. Testy from CNN. Wow, that's a weird word. Look over here at NPR. Harris interview on Fox gets testy. Look, there's the Guardian. Let's go over to the UK. Maybe Britain is separated from us in some way. Kamala Harris pledges break from Biden presidency in testy news interview. Did you guys get the memo?
She wanted Fox viewers to start to Google some of the things she was saying.
Brian Steltzer is telling people, go Google Kamala Harris. And then when you Google it, this is what comes up. CNN, testy. Business Insider, testy. News Press Now, testy. Newsmax, testy. Associated Press News, testy. They all describe the interview with that one weird word. And Steltzer wants you to go and look it up on Google? What a scam. They're all reading from the same top-down script. Who's in charge?
Because some of the comments she was making in this interview are foreign to the Fox audience. For example, General Mark Milley saying Trump is a fascist to the core. That's barely been covered on Fox News.
And that's the new thing they're going to roll out is General Mark Milley stabbing Trump in the back and calling him a fascist. But I've got my own take on that. Well, I should say, look, here's a guy over on Twitter you can follow at Doug in Exile. What does he say? General Mark Milley called the Chinese communists to warn them that he would not do what Trump wanted if an attack was imminent. That's insurrection, by the way. He called Trump a fascist and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 82, says that officers shall not disparage the commander-in-chief. That includes retired officers, by the way. That's been produced. He cannot do this, and he did it to Trump. He should be prosecuted and have his pension revoked.
So she was able to get some of those talking points in. This was the most adversarial interview Kamala Harris has probably ever done.
It's the most adversarial interview she's ever done because it's the only real interview she's ever done. She went out on 60 Minutes, but they edited her. We might do a video on that later. That the FCC, there's been a challenge now at the FCC for CBS News and 60 Minutes to release the entire transcript of the interview to show exactly what they edited on Kamala Harris.
Instead of getting to debate Trump again, she got to debate Bret Baier. And a lot of viewers are going to come away saying, wow, she's willing to do that. That's a sign of toughness and strength.
Yeah, it's a sign of stupidity, actually. Here's Jeff Cooner with that exact question. Did Kamala Harris make a big mistake doing the Fox interview with Bret Baier? 84% said yes. 15% said no. She was stunning and brave. Oh, wait, the state gets worse. Here's Sophia Patel on Twitter, head of operations at the Labour Party in the UK. I have nearly 100 Labour Party staff, current and former, going to the US in the next few weeks, heading to North Carolina, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. These are all battleground states, gang. I have 10 spots available for anyone to head to the battleground state of North Carolina. They're putting 10 in each spot. We will sort out your housing. They'll pay for your housing if you're interested. Thanks. If this came from Russia trying to help Trump, this is foreign interference of an election. Even if the UK is an ally, this is foreign interference admitted by Sophia Patel, head of operations, Labour Party. Who's in charge? Who's doing this? Who's running all this? I want to know. But you know what? The good news is, though, it's Trump against the entire media world. It's not working. Eric Doherty breaking. Donald Trump has just surged again in another all-time high of a 22-point lead in this morning's betting poly market. Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin are all red. Trump, 61.1%. Harris, 38.8%. Guys, the whole world is against Trump. The entire media establishment is against him, other than Elon Musk over on X, our buddy, and he's still winning. I think if this was natural, fair, and normal, he'd beat her pretty solidly by 15 points. And these are all in-kind donations the media makes to the Harris campaign for free, and they do not claim. Have you subscribed? I'm John Mike Keane.